Cookie 1962.0. You asked a great question. Where can I find the science behind this? You also said, I know that black women possess the Eve gene and know that we can produce all colors, and that's where this gets real deep. My name is Rachel Curry Williams. I'm founder and executive director of Saving Our Ancestors Legacy. Links are in my bio. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. If you look in the video description, you will see that I have tagged creators who talk about this, who live it, who experience this. And I'll also reference journal articles and books that you can explore for more information. First off, yes, most redheads, gingers in the public imagination have very pale skin. But that's because of who's been allowed into the archive, who's been allowed to be remembered. When you live in a world where whiteness is the default, even the outliers get whitewashed. Red hair has always existed in black families, before colonialism, before the white man came and stole us away from our homes. In the Caribbean, in Georgia, in Brazil, yes. But before then. So why don't we remember the redheads, the white-skinned black people in our communities, in our history? Because in the 18th and the 19th century, the rise of Darwinism, the science of eugenics that used our skulls, our bones, our facial structure, our head size, every piece of us, the size of our asses, our lips, to both classify, fetishize, and justify our subjugation, our annihilation, our outlierness, our inhumanity. That's eugenics. What colonialism and scientific racism and slavery did do was rewrite what we knew of our own family histories, mapping red hair onto whiteness, Europeanness, and constructing racialized norms through phenotype, and denied the presence of any such traits or variances in people of African American or African diaspora descent. Red hair and black people did not emerge after slavery. It's the Western system of classification and visibility that made it so that we stopped seeing this as a thing, that we stopped remembering. And if you look at the history of black folks with red hair or albinism, you'll see that exact pattern. In many parts of Melanesia, particularly amongst indigenous populations in Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu, red and blonde hair occurs very naturally amongst very dark-skinned people. And the result, it's not at all because of European admixtures and, interracial relationships. It is ancient, and it's a distinct genetic mutation in the TYRP1 gene. And it is actually completely separate from the MC1R mutation that causes red hair in European populations. So I'm not using this "gingers are black now" as a joke. I'm not shutting the door on the discussion, because it is an opportunity for us to discuss the pseudoscience, the extreme form of racism that eugenics developed, and the legacies that we still live with that it created. The red-haired auntie, the white-skinned nephew with albinism, they were written out of the record. There are great historical texts, not enough maybe, that you can read on this history. Blackness comes in all skin tones, with all shades of hair. We all have the Eve gene. And that's what Eve really means. Blackness has never been narrow. It was narrowed by systems of power. And I'm just here to undo that narrowing, to restore the archive, reclaim the history, with our photos, with our stories, with our scanners and make sure that they don't get to erase it again.